This video series is dedicated to explaining how to design in a logical way from start to finish. If you're either a developer or a beginning designer that struggled with traditional design education, this series is for you. In this episode, we'll be going over the most daunting challenge to any beginning designer, the blank canvas. One of the hardest parts about starting a design project is figuring out what to build. Luckily, we've already figured out our features that we'll need from our previous episode. For the rest of these videos, I'll be using the free design tool Figma. What we'll need to build out first will be the sign-up flow. The first thing to do in order to approach this is looking at inspiration. The website I usually go to is Dribbble because of the creative explorations and the experiments you'll find. However, be careful not to just use Dribbble inspiration, as a lot of these aren't fully thought out and implemented concepts, so there's likely to be holes in the user experience. A resource to find screens currently being implemented is mobbin.design. Here you can find flows for many major apps that have already been implemented. For my references, I pulled in what I thought to be some good looking sign-up shots from Dribbble. It's also a good idea to bring in some other currently implemented apps as inspiration. This way you can see if there's possibly a simpler way for users to get through different flows and processes. I've pulled in inspiration from the app Monkey through mobbin.design to help me reference what sort of information they're gathering from their users. I've also gathered other onboarding flows from the sign-up section under onboarding in mobbin.design. Looking at how Monkey gathers users' info, first they get confirmation that the user is real. Then they ask for more personal information. Then they follow up with a bunch of funny Kanye memes to ask the users for app permissions. What I like about this sign-up process is that it's simple, easy, and even has a sense of humor. Notice how when you hit continue on the phone verification that you automatically accept the terms and conditions for the app. Even reducing that one click of not having to hit a checkbox helps a lot to onboard new users. It's important to consider small things like these so you can lessen the length of your sign-up process. Doing this can help you get a lot more people into your app faster. The information we'll need from our users includes a username, phone number, date of birth for legal reasons, and access to their camera and Face ID. We'll also need to gather what topics they're interested in. That way we can match them with people that they'll actually enjoy talking to. I tried to keep these goals in mind when I was gathering my inspiration. Since we'll be using social medias like Snapchat and Facebook to allow our users to stay in touch, we'll ask to connect these first. We'll then use any information gathered from these apps to pre-fill inputs in our sign-up process, so that way the user doesn't have to type or click as much. However, we should include a third option for a regular sign-up process in case the user doesn't have either of these two social medias. The last part of this sign-up process is allowing the user to select what topics they're interested in. This way we can match them with people with the same interests as them. If you're new to design, it can be really hard to break down these pieces of inspiration into something completely new. To help with this, don't pay attention to colors, type, or any of the small details. For now, there are only distractions. The only thing that you should be concerned with is how each piece of inspiration placed and sized their elements for their pages. Let's break these down in a simple way so you can see how designers look at inspiration and piece it all together. All we're going to do is use this rectangle tool, and we're going to break down these elements just using plain non-styled text and just regular rectangles. The method that we're using for this is what designers refer to as low-fidelity prototyping. More experienced designers may not even use references when making these, as they memorized countless different other layouts already through sheer repetition and practice. And once you finish building out your low fidelity prototype, what you want to do is go over and hit the select tool or K, and now you can expand it out. Now I'll be continuing the same exact process for the other flows. Now that we've laid out our onboarding, let's focus on when the user enters the app. The goal is to get them started right away. One way to approach this is to have it instantly switch to the front-facing camera and have a start button for whenever the user feels comfortable searching. At this initial starting page, the user would also be able to go through all the available filters to see what they like to use when they're searching. None of these filters should hide or distort the user's face. It should only enhance it. When the users search for others, the priority would be given to those the user hasn't talked to before. Once the user has paired up and talked for a while, they'll need the ability for the user to briefly show their social media to the other. Tapping on this pop-up card would redirect the other user to that person's profile so they could follow them and keep in touch. This allows us to make a functional proof of concept MVP, so that way we don't have to also work on a direct messaging feature. Using our features we defined in the last episode, and building upon the inspiration we collected, we've successfully created our low-fidelity mockup. In a real-world app, there would be many more screens to address other situations the user may come across, such as empty states, error states, loading states, and so on. However, for this demonstration, we're just focused on the bare-bones happy path screens. Hopefully after watching this video, you know how to prepare yourself before you approach the blank canvas. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, and subscribe and hit the bell for more videos like these to come.